Time to root and toot in Tom. It's rooting and tooting time. This town is not big for the both of us.
What would
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
happen if you lived in the Wild West? Day
So we're
one,
gonna see
you
how
arrive
the Wild West is like.
in town. There are more saloons than any other building combined. The street is mostly manure, and the law is one underpaid man with a bad hip. Week 1. You eat the food. Hardtack, beans, and salt pork. Cowboys got scurvy so regularly that chewing cactus was considered a legitimate dietary strategy. Month 1. You get sick. The doctor's office is also the barber shop. He learned surgery from a pamphlet, and the anesthetic is the same whiskey he drinks during the procedure. Year 1. Someone decides you owe them something. Out here, there are no courts, only consequences. The only verdict that moves faster than the law is a bullet. The street empties. Noon. Your hand moves. The dust settles. One of you is a legend. The other is a warning. What would happen if you lived in the...
This is the Wild West, guys.
It's time for Operation American 250. Yeah. We're
So I
gonna go
would
see young
probably
Washington
think-
Ball stabbing Emmanuel McCoy. The Angleterres County skullfucker rode into the town deep throat guns, opened to sell the rabbit.
Did it just say fucker?
On his way into the saloon, he tracked mud over the favorite smoking spot of half-Chinese Hazel
Not gonna lie,
Smith.
this is pretty boring.
In the Wild West, the Colt 45 revolver rose to fame as one of the most iconic sidearms. But how does this single-action revolver actually fire? First, bullets are loaded one by one into the revolving cylinder. Then, the shooter would manually pull back the hammer, which rotated the cylinder. This lined up the back of the bullet with the hammer, and once the trigger was pulled, it would release the hammer, hitting the back of the
Howdy.
cartridge, igniting the powder, and firing the bullet. In the Wild
This is the Wild West, boys.
How did the iconic Wild West figure we all know disappear overnight? The answer is simpler than you might think. The evolution of American culture and society rendered the figures of pioneers, outlaws, and solitary heroes obsolete, replaced by those of citizens, workers, and consumers. How did the iconic Wild West figure...
The Wild West is a term used to describe the time between the Civil War and the 20th century. It was a time where outlaws such as Billy
This is a revolution. This is the evolution.
the Kid, Jesse James, and Butch Cassidy would make their name due to their daring and extremely criminal endeavors. Jesse James and his gang were responsible for a number of railway and bank robberies, and they became known across the country. It wasn't only the outlaws that made their fame. It was a time for legendary sheriffs, too, like Wyatt Earp, who's known for his participation in the 1881 gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. Cowboys did exist, but they weren't exactly what the movies portray. They lived a life of freedom and were good with a lasso. But they spent most of their lives on...
Back then, you could kind of kill somebody and it was easier.
Think about like the Wild West, right? If you killed somebody, they drew a picture of you.
All you have to do is shave your mustache.
I'm looking for a guy with a mustache. You could literally shave, come back to the town, get a job as a sheriff, and look for yourself for 20 years.
Back then, you could kind of kill somebody and it was easier.
Think about like the Wild West, right? If you killed somebody, they drew a picture of you.
All you have to do is shave your mustache.
I'm looking for a guy with a mustache. You could literally shave, come back to the town, get a job as a sheriff, and look for yourself for 20 years.
Back then, you could kind of kill somebody.
This is our town. Oh. That's how they think. Whoa.
There's a well-known study suggesting that if someone with a knife is within 20 feet of you, they can strike faster than you can draw and fire your...
How to humiliate any player in the Wild West. If some kid starts trash talking you, do this. Lure him to Howling Peak or drag him there yourself. Get him to drop his shield, any excuse works. Catch him with a lasso and drag him under the scaffold. Now you do the talking and he just listens. If he screams less, you win more.
A day in the life of a cowboy in 1870.
A trillion years ago. That was like 200 or 300 or 400 years ago. Oh, remember 1770? There's 1770. Oh, 1800s, 1700s, the 1600s, 1500s,
A day in the life of a cowboy
1400s,
in 1870.
1300s, 1200s, 100, and that was the year, like, when God was made, when God was born. Oh, this town is not big for the both of us.
Billy the Kid, born Henry McCarty, was a legend of the Wild West. Orphaned at a young age, he quickly turned to crime for survival. By the time he was 15, he was already involved in theft and gunfights. He was smart, quick, and had a reputation for escaping capture. The Kid, part of his name, came from his youthful appearance. He was barely 21 when he passed away. Despite his short life, the name Billy the Kid became synonymous with the Wild West's most famous outlaws. Billy the Kid, born Henry McCarty.
That would be it for today. I'll do a war one. How war be like, but that'll be it for today. Peace. I'll do it later today. Peace out.